On this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, we catch up with our World Cup correspondents, Tyler Thomas and Jerrica Thomas. What were you doing, Tyler?
Hey, we went to Seattle. We had a great time. We tell you all about it and break it all down. What an amazing game. So much going on. So much fun. And you get to hear not only the old man perspective of me, but the insight of my young daughter who's in her 20s still. And she had the game of her life. So tune in and see why.
And it was the most patriotic episode we have ever done. Fair?
Ever, ever.
Ever. So take a listen at this episode. All right, it's another episode, special episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. We have before I do that, please hit that subscribe button, do all the things, follow, rate, and leave a comment, but definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media. Back to this episode, we have our official World Cup correspondents joining us tonight.
Whoop, whoop,
Thomas,
whoop, whoop.
Tyler Thomas, and Jerrica Thomas, who are going to hit all of the games, every single one of the games, or maybe just one for us. How many games are you gonna hit?
Well, we hit them all so far. So every single World Cup game, okay, fine. We hit one.
I've hit all the games in my heart, but
Ooh, there you
physically, I've only hit one.
go.
I've
Is
been
that because
watching all of them as much as I can.
Right?
you've only gone to one because the amount that's the amount you can do together? I mean, is
Yeah,
there a
I would say
limit?
that it's a matter of mostly funds and proximity. Those are the two main things keep like holding me back from going to more.
Yeah, me too. And I think that we were talking to Real Salt Lake about, a possible country coming in. Bosnia Herzegovina has been practicing, but RSL is like the farthest away from every single stadium.
Yeah,
It's
That's
we're
like,
so
about
funny.
the furthest away. I mean, we're close-ish to all the West Coast, but I mean, airplane ride, like an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. But even on our trip to Seattle, we had to go through LA to get a connecting flight to get it cheap enough.
And it was
So
actually cool. We flew right over the stadium as one of the games was being played inside of it in
in
LA. That was
SoFi,
cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
in LA.
No, not
mm,
SoFi, Los Angeles
Oh,
Stadium.
sorry.
that's
You can't
right.
say
That's right.
SoFi.
Come on, Tom.
We didn't go to Lumen Field. We went to
No,
Seattle Stadium.
right. Which
You're
had
never,
the
they're never going
Lumen
to let you
Park
be
blank.
correspondents again.
The
Oh,
field was still there, but Lumen was gone.
yeah, just said field. It was very silly.
So yeah, we want to have you guys on. I was going to say that Brennan and I drew straws, but you still took Jerrica, so it doesn't matter. So, so tell us about your experience. Yeah, what made you decide to go? Other than it is a World Cup, how did you guys decide to head off to Seattle to catch the U.S. men's team, and maybe not another country? I'm surprised you didn't go see Norway or something. But why the U.S. team? Why the
Like,
U.S.?
I'll start and then I'll tee you up to take over for me, Dad. But I kind of reached out and I said, hey, we're hosting the World Cup. This is probably Well, it's hard to say if this is going to be the only time that this happens in our lifetime again. Like we don't know. We don't know if it's going to happen. I'm very opportunistic. I'm like, let's make this happen. It's here. I'm going to be kicking myself for the rest of the time if I don't go to a game. So I like went over to his house and we were like looking up the cheapest, like, because the game tonight, Jordan versus Algeria, was one that we were thinking of going to in Santa Clara because the tickets were like $170 or something. Because I was
Yeah,
like, I don't
when
even
both
care. Yeah, I
when
just
both
want to
countries are
be
on the
there.
do not fly list, it's easy to get a ticket to
It's
that game.
usually a little cheaper. Very cool. But I don't know if I cared as much about who I wanted to see. It's more the atmosphere and the feeling of participating in a World Cup firsthand. I think that um, watching the World Cup is a pretty core tenet of our relationship as a father-daughter. And I like some of my earliest memories were like being a really little kid watching and kind of gaining context of like world soccer and other countries. Like I remember like a really, really, really early memory. We were chatting about watching Japan play. And that to me was like my first introduction to Japanese people was watching them play in the World Cup. And I was like, oh, they play soccer in Asia? Like that's so cool. Like I play soccer. And it kind of was this like thread of growing up. And so then my dad was being kind of wishy-washy and annoying and not committing to any of the dates. And I was like, are you about to get in the way of me going to the World Cup? And now you can take over.
Okay, so then we cross-fed all the information Jerrica got with my wife, and we came up with the one weekend where we could go to a game. So the one weekend we could get me and Jerrica both to a stadium was the weekend of the men's game in Seattle. And so I was like, hey, if we're going to go see a game, let's see a game we really want to see, US Australia. Let's go to that one. So I kind of started scouring the tickets and looking, and I waited for 2 weeks as we were kind of planning and waiting for a decent price. The prices were so pricey. And hey, I'll tell my fans just because I love you. I paid $1,600 for our tickets, 1,600 per ticket, which is a lot of money. It really is. It's a lot of money. I paid for both tickets, shoving my sweet daughter under the bus. But hey, you're not in a position to do that right now, and that's fine. I was like, I'd rather pay for two and have that shared experience rather than go by myself. I didn't want to go by myself. One of my core tenets is sharing opportunities with people I love. So I was like, who would care about this the very most? And of course, Jerrica is in as into soccer as I am. And so love that. And off we went. Bought the
So that,
tickets and then had to fight for airfare and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we got the airfare down, not that big a deal. But we went in on Thursday. And basically the whole plane was wearing soccer jersey. That was cool. We're looking
That
around
was
and
really
start
cool.
talking to people about, hey, wait, you're going to the game? Oh yeah, yeah, you, yep, uh-huh. And it was just fun to be on a plane full of US men's national team fans. Um, and going into the city, yeah, there was a big buzz. There was a lot of
Yeah.
buzz.
Getting on the airplane to Seattle was kind of where it started to feel real for me, I would say. Because also, I've been like watching the game on my phone everywhere that I've had to be walking around for the last like week and a half. And so it was cute to see other people do that as they got on the plane. Like everyone was watching the Canada-Qatar game, which was going on when we boarded the plane. And this is just another fun little anecdote too, because when we landed, none of us saw the second half of that Canada Qatar game, which ended up being really crazy. And right when we landed and everyone got service, there was like a plane wide chat about oh, they went up to six, like the guy broke his leg, and it was just so fun to be able to know that everyone cared as much as we did. That was really cool. And then we watched the Mexico South Korea game first in an Uber and then got to a cute little brewery in Seattle where some of the RSL supporters group, the Los Caballeros, were hanging out. And that was
Los
really cute.
Caballeros Reales.
Yeah, there was like a crew. I've joined them in the last 3 or 4 months, and um, there were four other caballeros at the game, and then there were like three or four other that came out to just hang out in Seattle. And so it was fun to have like a group of people as well.
Yeah,
that's
it
an
was really cool.
yeah, that's awesome so far. And then, the good thing about, buying the tickets, you can always use that. You get to use that for the rest of your life, Tyler, right? Remember that time? Remember that
Yeah.
time?
Remember that time your dad took you to the World Cup? I think it's time to pay him back for that now,
Yeah, yeah. It's probably going to cost you a lot more than $1,600, Jerrica, but at
right?
least you had the experience.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I was like, I like
uh,
Rich Dad.
yeah, yeah, awesome.
It's
So
Yeah.
you get to the game. Talk about what it's like to get to the game. Was there a march? I mean, how did you? Did you walk? Did you goober? How was there fans?
Yeah, so
What was the build up to the game?
we stayed in this cute little Airbnb that was probably, I don't know, 6 blocks from the stadium, probably
yeah,
7.
it was like a 10-minute scooter.
Yeah.
So probably like a mile and a half away from the stadium, but just due east. So we only had to ride like one street to get there. It was really nice. And the party started at 7 a.m. The pregame party started for this game because it was at noon Pacific time.
And
And
we
we
thought, they're not going to start that
7
early.
a.m. We got there at
Savage.
8:30 and it was rocking.
At the game, the
8:30
Like,
stadium,
a.m.
or where?
So we scootered around and we met up. Have you heard of the Scuffed podcast, Brent?
No.
You should look it up. I'm just now getting into it. Some of the caballeros are friends with people from the Scuffed podcast, and it's a U.S. soccer podcast. They just talk about like the national teams, both men and women, and they have this really big nationwide community. And so they were setting up camp at this one bar called Fast Fashion Brewery that was just south of the stadium, but it was right along the block where everyone was marching. So as we were scootering in, we scootered past the line of Aussies waiting to get into their supporters bar called Victory Hall. And there were so many of them. It was actually kind of overwhelming. I was like, whoa, like these people came so far to support their team, which I always love to see. I love to see other countries being supported at the World Cup so far from home. And it's heartwarming to know that like they came all this way to watch their team lose just
Yeah.
because they're that dedicated to it and they feel such intense
So
like
did you sing the
loyalty to
song
their
for them?
team. The Aussie,
Did you
Aussie,
sing the
Aussie, oi,
song for
oi,
them?
oi.
No, no, you came a
No,
long
the
way just to lose. You came a
no, I can't say that I
long
did.
way just to lose. You came a long way. Anyway, so
So we arrive at the Scuffed
by
bar
scooter,
at
by
eight
Lime
by
scooter.
scooter,
Yeah.
8:30 a.m. Everyone in there, star spangled, red, white, blue, everywhere. Lots of different cool outfits and jerseys and bling. People put like charms on my face and sparkles everywhere. And people are having fun. People are excited. The energy was starting to get really just palpable and fun. I don't know how you felt in there, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. In
Uh,
fact, a couple of them had those like big jackets on that had the U and then the smaller S and the tiny A, kind of like whoop, whoop, whoop. I think that's kind of a cool design they did for the World Cup this year, and that was kind of fun. And everybody was just so pumped for the game. Like the pregame TV was on. People were just talking, having a good time, getting ready to get out there, and then slowly everything started trickling out, and we're like, let's get there early and try to march in with the American Outlaws. And we saw a lot of the American Outlaws, but we never really like felt like we were with them at any point,
it
right?
was
I
kind of
mean,
confusing. Yeah, we got to the place where they were like set up camp, quote unquote, but then it just didn't feel very official. It felt like less of a march and more of a swarm.
a
yeah,
wonder.
Um, yeah, where the crowd was really intense. I keep saying this, and the only experience I have to compare this to is when I went to Taylor Swift's Eras tour, because like just the size and the magnitude and the amount of people and all being like having the same goal and just getting inside the stadium and getting to our seats felt like that, where everyone's buzzing and stoked and trying really hard to like hurry and go to the bathroom and hurry and get their snack and their drink, but also like being sardined in everywhere you go. Um, so we marched down, if you can call it that, in a big crew, and got into the stadium, and then there were just like DJs and parties. I saw there was like a little friendship bracelet tent that one of my friends got one of, and then we just kind of went straight to our seats just to like sit and be there and be ready, and saw people like get into their seats and saw the team warm up. And that's when it started to be like, oh my gosh, like we're at the World Cup. We're doing
Well, how
this right
early do they
now.
let you
That's
in?
we got there, we probably got in by like 10:30, 10:45. But my one friend from the Caballeros was in the stadium by like 9:30.
Fun.
And she's the one
Nice.
who got to make the friendship bracelet. So, and they all got the good merch too. They sold out almost immediately of those scarves that are specific to each game. So the one with US on one side and Australia on the other, they sold out. We didn't get it. I did get a pretty cool scarf though. I'll grab it in a minute.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. For Father's Day, I thought, oh, man, what can I get? Because we had two babies. I mean, Sam had a baby on the 19th, the day of the game.
Wow.
So
Yeah, guess what they named him?
What?
he's an Arsenal fan.
Oh no.
Named him
Declan.
No.
Declan. Declan Edward. Welcome
Oh,
to the
that's
world.
hilarious.
Um,
Congratulations,
and I thought, it'd
Welcome
be
to
great
the
is
world,
I've got,
young Arsenal supporter, right?
Declan
yeah.
Edward. Wow.
I thought
That's
it should
just
have
what the
been
world needs
Declan
is another
Beckerman.
Arsenal supporter.
It should
Yeah.
have been Declan Beckerman.
Yeah, for real.
But
Where's your
I thought,
loyalty?
man, it'd be great. I got two soccer loving sons that need a Father's Day gift. And so I went out and I was able to find one USA
Wow.
kit
Okay.
Wow.
for Sam. And then Brennan had to get another. He had to.
Yeah, there were stripes all over. I mean,
Yeah,
there
we
were
went
that
to.
striped jersey was everywhere.
It
It
wasn't
looked
Everybody
it.
was
really
living
cool in
that
the crowd.
striped jersey.
It wasn't at the Three Dicks stores that I went to, and it wasn't at any of the other soccer shops we went to try and find it. So,
This
yeah,
is
you
the
win a
scarf
couple
I
of
got.
games, and people will buy your stuff.
Yep.
It's got Canada, USA, Mexico, three host countries. I thought that was
Oh,
pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's a cool
Adidas
one.
stripes on the back. Kind of cute.
Yeah, so it's
But
exciting to see
we
the
didn't mess
way.
around with merch until afterward.
It's exciting to see the way that the country has just kind of exploded when it comes to supporting the club after the getting past all of the usual, angst and jitters before the games start, and all of a sudden they start playing the game, and man, and it helps too that the U.S. has played surprisingly well. Well, we can talk about let's talk about the game and then get your thoughts on the team so far. But the game started. How did it feel in there? Was it electric? Was it How would you compare it to other soccer going experiences?
I'd say that coming from that 4-1 win over Paraguay, the expectation in the stadium was that we were going to win this game. I think everybody came in being like, all right, let's do this thing. I think that the US got really hungry, um, and the fans got hungry with them. And so it was cool to just kind of feel like it was going to be a shoe-in because I felt that the whole time. I was like, there's no way that we don't win this game. And even the big wall of the Aussie supporters section did not deter me. I still felt the same. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, no, I was watching them warm up. They were warming up with confidence. They were, you know, getting loose. Just
Christian wasn't wearing his
yeah.
boots. That was the
Christian was
one thing
wearing,
that we were.
yeah, he was just wearing regular shoes, but he walked in with the team, which was encouraging, but he wasn't in warm up and we kind of saw him wandering around and we're kind of seeing who was getting after it in warm ups and who was just kind of dorking around a little bit. And I don't know that, that matters a whole lot. It matters how you show up in the game, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I'm a dork of a coach, and so I kind of nerd out on what they do pregame, and it looked a lot like a Real game, honestly. I mean, it kind of very similar, a little small sided game going on, just to, be loose and passing the ball and moving and cutting and doing all those little things that, but not sticking in challenges or anything like that. But pretty similar to that, not dramatically different in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was interesting though. One of the things they did over the announcement, like over the loudspeaker, was somebody. Did you know who it was, Jared? I'm not super up on like celebrities and who they all are, but some guy came on and was like, "All right, let's hear from the Australians. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi." They were
I
doing
don't know
that,
if that was a celebrity. I think he was just an announcer.
Okay.
I didn't
So,
know who he was. And I
it,
probably would if he was a celebrity.
Yeah, then
right.
it was a nobody. It was a
That,
nobody.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jerrica didn't
Just
know.
some guy. Yeah.
some guy, right? And then there was another lady that came on too and did that. Um, and then I think it was trying to upset the US fans. Like, how dare you let them yell their thing in
You
our stadium?
antagonize the
So
Aussies.
when it came time to yell USA, we were quite emphatic in our yelling and getting after it, wouldn't you say?
I would. Yeah. Big time, strong supporters energy from both
Yeah, and
sides.
and every time they went to start a chant, we would just drown them out with USA, USA.
Yeah, I couldn't hear them the whole time. We were too loud.
Yep. Yeah, and that was kind of fun. I think too much credit was given to the Seattle area. No one we talked to at the game was from Seattle. One guy out of, I don't know, 40 or 50 people we talked to were actually from Seattle. There's a big contingent from Chicago. The guys behind us were from Philly, right? Guy next to
Yeah.
us was from California. The guys in front of us were Colorado. Like there was a
I
lot of,
do I do have to give some credit to Seattle for their outward and obvious support of Christian Roldan. I saw a lot of posters that said like Roldan's our boy, like he made it, he's on the team, and I thought that was cool.
yeah.
Um, to like support your own when it gets there. Should have been Diego Luna, but that's another story. But I'm glad to see that like they showed up for their like hometown boy.
Yep, yeah, we're all disappointed it wasn't Luna, but yeah, Christian's a good dude and he gets after it and he's a great player and he's proven himself over time and stuff. So,
And he's got a lot of
you don't
minutes
want to
so
hate
far.
on Roldan just because he's not flashy. He is what he is, right? Like,
Mhm.
So, what about, let me ask you this before, I was thinking about this with the way the U.S. has played the first two games, and they've played incredibly well. Does that temper the disappointment by not having Diego Luna make the team and Xavier Gozo? Does it kind of like explain it? And you think, oh, maybe Poch was right. Or what are your
I
thoughts on
I
that?
like the word temper. I don't love the word explain, where I think I'm placated in my anger because of how well we're doing. I don't know if I agree because none of the players that he put in Diego Luna's stead have really been playing and showing up. I think that's mostly credit to like Balogun and just Pulisic and being in form. And I suppose I do want to give a little credit to Pochettino, but I don't want to say like, oh, I get it. That's why Luna was left off the team, or that's why Gozo was left off the team. Honestly, the Alex Freeman and his performance did kind of make me feel, oh, that's why Gozo was left off the team. But I never thought that Gozo had a chance. I thought Luna was a shoe-in, and I still think that. I think he's a better choice than Gio Reyna, even though he scored. I think he's a better choice than Brandon Aronson or Christian Roldan, and neither of them have played yet. So it's kind of just up in the air. It's whether you believe in Gio Reyna like Pooch does, and I don't know if I can say that I do, but I do forgive him.
yeah,
That's good. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, and
he's probably really concerned, but I probably
yeah,
accepts your forgiveness.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is. He's been sweating. He's been sweating, worrying about that. Is
He can't hear
Jerrica
me. He
on my
can't hear
side?
me.
That's right. He can't hear us anyway.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
He can't hear us
My
anyway.
anger's only hurting me.
Right. Yep, that's true actually. But yeah, no, Luna maybe he needs the break. So we'll go with that. We'll go with glass half full and Luna's going to take this break, and he's going to come back refreshed, and he's going to slaughter the second half of this MLS season, and RSL lift the cup. So there we go. Right there's your and would rather
Yeah.
have that, right? Overall.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he would trade that for a World Cup experience, MLS
But
Cup.
the goal, I mean, going back to the way the US are set up, Anthony Robinson is a world classy. He's a world class
He's
player.
he's my guy.
He's head and shoulders above everyone on that Australia team. And I think what Pochettino did there is he put in Malik Tillman. And I think Malik matched the intensity, the strength, the struggle, and the athleticism of everybody on the Australia team. And he even notched it up one from all of them, and they could not hang with Malik. He was strong on the ball. He was digging in on tackles. He was more skilled than they were. And then he could lay it off to the other guys who could do a little bit more creative attacking. But Malik was my man of the match. Watching him throughout the match, yeah, he didn't score, but he was every bit the ball winner, every bit the playing people into space. And he basically was the guy that was in there because Pulisic was out, right? So very impressed with Malik and him stepping in. And I know he was in the other game too, but and Pepe was in there as well. But watching that play where Anthony Robinson played it down the line, and Flo made a run like he was going straight to the ball and then turned, and the Aussie was chasing him and then tried to follow him, and he just pulled away. He was too fast. He was too strong. And the Aussie took a rough angle. And so Flo was coming in on the center back. And that's always a horrible place to be as a center back. You hate taking people on one. You just try to cut off angles and hope they don't go by you, right? And then he takes an extra touch, which I was like, oh no, he's taking it all the way to the end line. I'd rather see that ball played early, but in this case, it worked out, and he squared it, and he hit it with such force at Pepe. And Pepe was right in line with the ball, but the Aussie beat him to it and knocked it in for the own goal. And man, the place went nuts. What was your experience with that one, Jared?
Well, I just want to echo the Malik man of the match. Malik Tillman killed it. And not to say that he hasn't been doing well in previous games, but he really woke up and like chose to be very fierce. Again, he's not like a finisher, he's not the most tactile player, but he played with like an intensity and energy that like was really, really influential in the game. And you can tell that he either just took his own responsibility or was coached this way, but he went in there being like, I have to make sure they don't notice that Christian Pulisic is not in this game. And we didn't. Honestly, the form was so good. Everyone was as driven forward as Christian usually is. And yeah, that first goal, it almost felt too good to be true. Watching Flo take that defender down on the left, right in front of us, like couldn't have been closer to us from where our seats were. And just a perfect, dangerous ball in. And Pepe probably made the wrong run, should have gone near post, but it is comforting to know that he would have been there had the defender let the ball go through, like regardless of, just he was there. He was in front of the goal. And it didn't really matter in the end because the ball in was so dangerous that it went in anyway. And I just remember um, just glee. That's the one word that I would use to describe that feeling. And that moment was just like, heck yeah, we're gonna do it. It was just such a quick tone setter for even if we don't score, we're gonna make you look like a fool.
And would you say it increased your patriotism?
So Brant, you'll feel me a little bit more on this one, but I sometimes struggle to really love my country, based on how it's run and things that happen and terrible ways of treating people. And I gotta say that in this game, I felt the most patriotic I've ever felt in my life. I just wanted to own it. I was like, yeah,
USA, USA, let's
USA.
go.
Yeah, no, I'd
It
have
was
to
super
agree with you.
magical.
The games that the way they played and watching them play well has also helped my patriotisms because uh, we could probably beat up your dad on some stuff when we talk about.
Yeah, let's gang up. Come
We'll
on.
gang up on your dad on stuff, but no, that's a whole other podcast. That's a whole other podcast.
It's called the Gang Up Podcast. That's coming up next.
So, so what about the response from Australia? I mean, if you follow them on social media, they got robbed, and the refs were in on it, and there's all kind. I've seen nothing but uh, negativity. I will say I was at the watch party at the stadium, America First Field. Um, I did some interviews with the Bosnia Herzegovina fans and kept calling it Rio Tinto because old habits and
Yeah, I'll
old
never call it America First
old
Field. That's
old
Rio
habits
Tinto.
and old guy.
The AFF.
And so there was a fantastic turnout. The whole place, it was kind of full.
Oh, yeah.
It was during the day, so I'm sure we'll see how. I think they had, obviously, they had more fans probably at the evening game. We'll see what next Thursday when the U.S. plays. They'll be doing it again. And also, they've had massive turnout for the Mexican fans that are watching the game there. So it's been great to see how it almost feels like it snuck up on, at least on me, because maybe I was just too focused on all of the horrible things that I thought could happen, outside of the game. And it's been nice to have the games get started and everyone has just kind of forgotten about our differences and they just want to watch and play the game. So that has been fantastic.
It's the universal language and it unites us all, soccer.
It's very
It's the
true.
closest to world peace that we've ever come. I've been living it up watching Mexico and South Korea become best friends. I love the Scotland and Boston stuff. Like just people, we went to a bar the next morning right by the stadium to have breakfast and watch the Netherlands-Sweden game. And there was a lady with spiky orange spray painted hair for the Netherlands sitting across from two people in Sweden capes and flower crowns, just having breakfast, cheersing. And I was like, this is what it's all about.
And we were
This,
cheering for everyone. We were cheering for
everyone,
goals.
yeah,
Yeah, we didn't even care.
everyone
It was
good.
awesome.
So I guess like to actually answer your question, I don't feel like I witnessed animosity from Aussies in real time. I feel like afterward everyone was like just good game, and just happy to be there. Um, I haven't seen discourse about the ref being involved. I don't know if I would concur. The first 15 minutes, I would say, were a little ski wampus ref wise, kind of little more go than I would have liked. But then I think that he kind of settled in and called the game pretty fairly.
It's kind of been
They're
the theme for
probably
a lot of the
talking.
games I've watched that they're letting them play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And being physical. Australia's a physical team that probably plays to their favor. So I guess that,
Was
again,
Lachlan
doesn't
Brook
really
there?
make sense. He
Yeah.
wasn't, but
We saw Lachlan Brook.
oh,
We saw some other
I thought you
people,
were
but we'll come
joking.
back to that. No, I was totally joking. I didn't see Lachlan Brook. I was playing.
you're like, there's Lucky. And I'm like, what? He's not good enough to be there. Miss that guy.
Yep. But
Cutie.
no, to the second goal, we got to talk about the second goal.
Yes,
It
let's get
was
back to the
too
game.
good.
Let's get on
So we
track.
got to talk about the head injury.
Right. So we take the corner, and who was on the corner? Malik? I think Malik was on the corner. And we ran up Dest to the top of the box, and he zips it in, and Dest takes a one-touch banger, right? One touch, bang, and he hits an Aussie with it. Now, I think this is why it went to review, because it hit the Aussie, and they thought it might have hit somebody else. Because between the moment when Dest hit it and the moment it hit the Aussie in the way, Freeman started moving towards where he thought the ball was going to go, and then the ball popped up in the air, and that's where Freeman ran in and headed it in.
He
Now,
was alone. He was on an island.
yeah,
He was
but
all
he
by
was
himself.
2 feet onside, but had it hit a U.S. player, that would have been a pass. He would have been offside. So the flag went up, I think, thinking, but also from the sidelines perspective, the assistant referee, there's no way he could have seen the guy behind him from where things were, right? So you draw a straight line across. There was another U.S. player offside, but I think it was Flo. He was in the way of the offside call. So I understand why it was called, but live, I was like, "What? Were they offside? Were they offside?" And I was looking around, and everybody was like, "Oh man, so close." Anyway, they go to review, and they get it right. That's the right call. It hit the Australian player, popped up in the air. Freeman beats him to the ball, heads it in, and a couple of serendipitous things happened right there. Jerrica, you want to tell us about the serendipitous thing that you thought in that moment?
Well, first of all, it was really cool because just minutes before, Freeman had been taken down in a challenge on his head and spent like several minutes on the ground for like a head injury. And so he was already working uphill, the gravity against him, essentially. And I don't know, for those of us who have had head injuries, it's not fun. I don't know how serious it was, but he got clocked. He got bonked real good.
It
And then
looked
for
like it was
just,
pretty serious because it was
it
Yeah.
near
did look
sideline.
really scary,
Yeah.
but he didn't get subbed out. And not only did he not get subbed out, he like scored in the next play. But I just thought it was really special that, so first of all, Alex Freeman's dad played in the
Oh,
NBA. Wait,
that's
NFL.
mine. Yours is the
oh,
other
okay.
one.
Oh, okay.
So it was Juneteenth,
Yes.
right? The game happened on Juneteenth, which is the day that the slaves were freed. And Alex's last name is Freeman, which was the name that was given to freed black men that were not slaves anymore. And so I just thought it was
And women.
really neat, and women, but they, sure. Um, I just thought it was really neat that a black man named Freeman scored the winning goal for the United States on Juneteenth. That made me weepy. I was like, all right, and I'm proud to be an American, at least. That was me. And
Yeah.
now his dad,
Yes. And Antonio Freeman, his dad, played in a Super Bowl in that same stadium and won the Super Bowl there with the Green Bay Packers back in the 2010s. I don't know, whenever Antonio Freeman won the Super Bowl with the Packers
And
and
also
and
got a
Real Salt
concussion.
Lake. Oh, did he
No,
really?
just kidding.
Oh, okay, that'd be crazy. But little team called Real Salt Lake won our only MLS Cup in that same stadium as well.
In
that's right. So it was
2009.
quite
And
serendipitous for
yeah,
for all of us.
it was quite the moment.
Absolutely. So, did it feel like how did the game go? Did it feel like after the RSL, but the U.S. men's national team was ever in doubt? How did you feel the momentum in the stadium? Was it and
I thought
how
it was
fast did it
strange.
feel like it
I thought
in
it
the
was
game
strange
go?
they started switching to rugby and doing headlocks and stuff like that. I was like, when did that become part of the game? The old classic headlock from behind.
Just
Um,
massage the ref's feet.
Flo was getting into the defenders, and they were big and strong, and they did not like that. He was initiating contact. He was being physical. Pepe was getting into him. He was playing pretty physical too. And I liked that. But then the Aussies ended up not liking that, right? They were
Yeah,
kind of losing it a little bit, started getting really kicky towards the end. And I think the ref did okay at keeping that under wraps, but there were a couple times and I was like, this is just getting out of hand, ref. You got to throw a card up for somebody doing something. If two guys put each other in headlocks, somebody has to get carded or there's no consequences for acting like that. You have to keep the game under control, in my opinion. In my opinion, you need to card that so it doesn't continue. But then Austin Trusty went down too, and the other guy just shoved him in the back, and he just fell on the ball. I was
very
laughing at
physical.
that. I was like, "What happened?" Because I didn't see it, but I went back and watched it, and I was like, "That was just funny." Right? I like that. Austin
Mhm.
Trusty just falls on the ball and holds it.
I would say that after we scored the second goal, not once did the game feel truly contested. I never felt Like we weren't going to run away with it from there. And I honestly expected to score more. And I would say my one surprise is that we didn't score in the second half, but
Yeah.
I didn't ever feel scared that Australia was going to like pull something crazy. We just seemed very in control, even if we weren't putting balls in the back of the net.
And I also like that we subbed out Anthony Robinson early. I like
Love
that
him.
we played Austin Trusty. But I also thought we should have subbed out Flo, and we probably should have subbed out one or two other guys a little earlier as well. The game was in hand, right? Like I don't know why we waited to the 90th minute to sub in Haji Wright. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys?
Well,
Like
they
get
have
Brendan
another.
Aronson in there. He'll run all over the place and draw fouls
Yeah.
and tick them off with speed and
I
agility.
wanted to
You know
see
what I mean?
Brendan for sure.
That would have been fun to see, but
You're
yeah,
probably going to
Or
see a whole bunch of
Zendejas.
folks
Oh,
next
we're gonna see
Thursday.
the whole crew on Thursday. Get my
yeah,
boy Zendejas in there.
right,
Put Brendan on the
He's the
ball. Give
you
Christian
can't say
Roldan
that.
some minutes.
right. So we
Zendejas
got
is the
two Texas
reason that
boys.
Diego's not there. So
I
I don't
don't
know
think that
about
that's
that,
true.
but
I feel like they play very different positions. And I do like Alex Zendejas. I like America quite a bit. They're a fun team to keep up with.
yeah, but
And I
two
like his
border
style.
boys, two Texas
Yeah,
boys, right?
yeah. How
Don't
can you
mess with
cheer against
Texas.
that? Don't mix with Texas. Grant, I've
so
been watching SNL right after 9/11 and the Will Ferrell's George Bush impression. He always goes in every single sketch. He goes, "Don't mess with Texas," and so that's been kind of our our joke.
it's
That
very
was the theme of the trip. Don't mess
yeah,
with Texas.
very good. Very good episodes. Very good run of seasons there with some of those guys.
Hmm.
So
Great
overall,
guys.
what are your thoughts on your bucket list experience? And were you sad you didn't bring your friends?
Specifically named Brant.
Yes.
Are we sad that you weren't there?
We're
No, and
sad you weren't there.
I
Well,
know the answer to that.
would you have sang Country Roads Take Me Home and cried with us as we
I
did it?
wouldn't have sang
Well,
no.
then you didn't
So
deserve to
yeah,
be there.
so I did not deserve to be there. I did not.
Sorry, you didn't pass.
I
You have
am
to
not much
sing.
of a singer. But
What was the song we
overall,
Yeah.
sang right before the Country Road song? There was another one. Was it Bon Jovi? Living on a
Oh yeah,
Prayer?
Living on a Prayer,
oh
and
yeah.
then Country
So
Roads.
yeah.
But
And
So
I feel like
you
did
would
that's the new anthem. It was such a special moment, and they've never done that at any of the other games before. And I don't know who chose it or how it got in there, but it felt stadium wide. Like we are so happy. We are so grateful. We are moving forward. This is personally the greatest I've ever seen the US men's national team compete. It feels so hopeful and like I'm ecstatic. I'm stoked. I'm thrilled. I'm beside myself with the joy of watching this team right now, especially in person with all those people there.
It
It's so
really was
special.
so fantastic. And living
I
on a
wept.
prayer, I think it was interesting. Pulisic, somebody told me that Pulisic was kind of starting up the prayer circle, but I don't know. I was looking in there and somebody took a picture of who was saying the prayer, and it wasn't Pulisic. So,
I bet they take turns.
oh yeah. But it was quite spirited, it seemed. And I was excited for that too. That's fun. That's fun.
so did it
But
live up to your all of your hopes and dreams for a bucket list?
really
It
did.
absolutely did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really cool. Stadium was packed, and there were a couple of Real Salt Lake sightings too.
Oh
So,
yeah, this was kind of cute on our way out because we were probably the last people in the stadium. That's what
yeah,
I
we
keep telling
stayed
people. We
until
were the
the
very
very,
last
very,
till
yes.
the end, till they were sweeping it all up. And on our way out, there were three guys sitting up in a stand a couple rows ahead of us. And it was like an old guy, a medium guy, and a young guy. So like a generation, like a kid. And they were all wearing RSL hats. And I'm just like, oh, hey. And we go, hey, RSL. And the middle guy looks up and it's Tony Beltran. And I look at him and I go, you're Tony Beltran. And he's just like, oh, yeah, hi. And we're like, hi, like, we love you. We're RSL people. It was cute to see him on our way out.
Yeah, yeah. And then one of our friends ran into Jason Christ.
Yeah,
So apparently they were both there as well,
he was
supporting the U.S.
crossing
men's
the
team.
street And Jason Christ like came up in a car and had his window rolled down. It was like Jason Christ. So,
Nice.
So a couple of RSL, people up there enjoying the game.
Nick
So,
Raimondo was there with his son too. I
oh yeah,
just saw
yeah.
that on Instagram. I didn't see him. They were up in a box.
Yep. And then we
Yeah, a
saw
lot of good representation.
we saw a couple other people, tennis pro, what's her name?
Oh, Serena Williams.
Serena
Also,
Williams was there.
Trinity Rodman presented the game ball. That was cool,
Oh,
and her
okay.
new blonde haircut.
Oh, that's why I didn't recognize her.
Yeah, she had. I get. That's why I was like, who? And then I saw after it was Trinity Rodman, which is really cool.
So was it almost as good or better than the Eras Tour?
Brant, that's a really hard question. You're talking about my two loves here, music and soccer, the two universal languages. And just the reason that I compare them is because it is such an emotional culmination of loving something for so much. Like both instances, it had been like a 20-year relationship with this like thing that you're finally get to like experience live. And very cool to do it with my dad on Father's Day, on a Juneteenth Father's Day. And yeah, I cried like a baby a couple times. It was emotional. It was beautiful. It was really cool.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited for you guys. What a beautiful moment. And then, but what was the proposal ratio? Was there a lot of proposals there? Because is that kind of what would tip the Eras Tour
Grant,
over?
there were not that many women there. This is a hack. If you want a short bathroom line, just be a woman that likes sports. Um, no, I'm trying to get more women involved, and I think that sports
Well,
in
there still
general,
could have been a
just
lot
like
of proposals. I
yeah,
mean,
true. But gay, like we're not really in the right. That was
I know, I'm just
that would
teasing.
happen at the Eras Tour more likely. A gay proposal. Um, but yeah, we need more women for sure.
So I'm really jealous. I think it's just an amazing experience for you guys, and in fact, just so glad you guys could share that. But let's talk about the World Cup in general. What are your thoughts? We can go down the. We are one day away from finishing the first two games tomorrow with Group K and L. But I'll just give you the breakdowns real quick. Group A, Mexico's they're advancing with South Korea and Czechia. It looks like they could get through. Group B, Canada and Switzerland. This one, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I went to the um, practice at the stadium, and it was really exciting to see the Bosnia and Herzegovina fans.
Well, look,
Yeah, getting a similar once in a lifetime probably opportunity for many that
To
get
see
to
their
watch
team.
their country practice during a World Cup in their home stadium. So that was fantastic. It was really heartwarming. Group C,
a lot of
Brazil,
people
Morocco.
forget that, like Zlatan, he's Bosnian, right? Most people forget
He's
that because he played for
Swedish.
Sweden,
Oh, he's
right?
Bosnian, but he played for
Yeah,
Sweden.
he played for Sweden, but he's from Bosnia.
Weird.
And
Yeah,
Group C,
but they didn't have a country back then, so.
Group C has Brazil and Morocco tied with 4 points. Scotland at 3 points. That's still up in the air.
That's
Group D,
crazy. Yeah.
USA is moving on, but Australia and Paraguay minus Almiron. I don't know how many games you got.
Oh, Miggy, drama queen. I love that guy.
And
But that was
Turkey is
crazy.
surprisingly out. Germany with 6 points. Ivory Coast with
Don't
three.
even talk about this one. I'm
Ecuador and Curacao 1 point.
Oh,
sweating. Ecuador
Group
has to
F
beat Germany to make it through now, which is crazy. It's not going to
and Group
happen.
F, Netherlands. One of my favorite fandoms to watch, a country to watch. I love right,
Oh,
right,
they're
right,
great.
left, left, left. Their whole um, supporter groups. Netherlands and Japan both with four. Sweden and Tunisia. Sweden with three. Tunisia with 0 points. And then Group G, Egypt and with 4 points. Iran and Belgium, surprisingly, only 2 points. But
Yeah, it's
that
not crazy.
that group is wide open. All four. New Zealand with 1 point.
Hmm.
They're all still alive. And then Group H, Spain 4 points. Uruguay
Ooh.
and Capo Verde with 2 points. And that, like I said, what a fantastic game that was. And Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia with a point. And then France and Norway, both with 6 points. And Senegal and Iraq, hmm, see ya. And then Group J, Argentina with 6, Austria with 3, Jordan and Algeria. How does that game turn out? Is it still going on?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
it's still
it's, yeah,
going on.
going on.
And then Colombia.
Woo! They're going to win the whole thing. Write this down. Colombia
Democratic Republic of
2026.
Congo.
We should
They
write
have
that
three
down.
points. Congo with 1, Portugal with 1, Uzbekistan with 0, and then England, Ghana, Panama, and Croatia. England and Ghana with 3 points each. So those two, the last two, will get sorted out their second game tomorrow. But overall, yeah, it's been just incredible. I was a little leery. I don't know about you guys, a little leery with the expanded format, and if they continue with that, you're probably going to get some countries that just kind of get waxed that may or may not be up to the standard, but you're not necessarily seeing that. I think that's been surprising to a lot of people.
I'd say the
Yeah.
only team that is like really, really at that level would be Haiti at this moment, just like no dream of a result. But I've been really surprised by the African teams that have just shown up against huge, powerful clubs. I've loved to see like Cape Verde, Curacao. I guess they're not African, but just like small nations. Curaçao's like the third smallest nation to ever qualify, and they're out here tying Spain in their first ever World Cup game. Impressive. Very cool.
Yep. And Cape Verde taking it to Uruguay, which
No,
our
it was
boy, Sanabria, right?
Yep, he got the
Yeah.
start.
He got the
he's
start. He
been playing
played
really
really
well.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, played well
Yeah.
both games.
Playing great. Oh, and out Jordan's ahead of Algeria at 1-0. So
Nice.
Thanks for the update, World Cup correspondent Tyler Thomas.
But
And
I think the biggest story right now is World Cup all-time goal scorers. Messi winning. Who would have thought Messi has the most goals in World Cup history? What? Really? Is this
And
accurate?
he even finally beat Marta, so they can't get it wrong when they
Right. You
always
can't
say
say it's
highest goal
just
scorer
male.
ever.
Yeah, right.
It's like, nope, there's a
Nope.
girl who did more.
yep, no qualifier there.
No,
But we ran the numbers, and it turns out that Alex Freeman is only 4 goals away from being the all-time leading scorer in men's national team history in a World Cup at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
He
And
has one,
not
and
a hard record. Yeah,
it's 5. So, he's close.
Flo Balogun is only 3 goals away. He has 2.
And he should get to
Oof.
count that own goal. I don't know.
he
Whatever.
he really he did a lot for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the there's some tension there too that the American goal scoring record could be also broken, depending on how it goes. I mean,
That'd be sweet.
Landon Donovan could probably be really upset because he's the record holder with 5, Clint Dempsey with 4, and the famous Bert Patnaud, Patnaudi. I don't know
No
how you
one
say his
knows who
name.
that is. No.
He had 4 all in the 1930 World Cup. So
Oh, yeah,
he
that's
Wow.
held the record for a very,
very
very
For
long
90
time.
years,
way too long.
95.
He held it clear, I think, till 2010.
That's hilarious. 80 years.
So, so what are your other thoughts? I mean, I've been excited to watch the games. Oh, back to Lionel Messi has 18, Klose had 16, Marta had 17,
And
and
Mbappe's at 15 now.
15, and Ronaldo, not this Ronaldo, the other
OG
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo.
yeah,
Yeah, also
has
15.
15.
Yes, I had two of my correspondents, my Argentina brother, and I say that because he went there on his mission. So he claims Argentina, but he said that he's worried because Messi is scoring all the goals, and I was like, yeah, what a rough problem to have
Yeah,
if you have one guy scoring all your goals, And then I
it's
said,
terrible.
well, diversification is both you know, it's a curse, but it's also a blessing, right? Just like
Yeah,
concentration in a portfolio, right?
yeah. There has been some talk. He's not alone in people bringing that up as a talking point.
I don't know. I feel like
Oy.
he's not doing everything for Argentina. Like
Right.
Thiago Almada's had some good games. Rodrigo de Paul is playing well. Like they're playing as a unit for sure. He's just the one who happens to have finished them all.
So let's finish this up. Who is going to win the World Cup and lift that trophy? Jerrica, you said you seem to be confident in a country, which
I'm yeah, I'm going full Colombia all the way. I think that
uh,
they've got an amazing roster. Even just so a couple names for you, we have all-time legend James Rodriguez, done an amazing work for Colombia in World Cups
couldn't hack it in
past.
Minnesota.
Ugh, well, I don't know what's going on. He's a mysterious man. But he's never had much club success, but he's always had amazing World Cup success. Like that iconic goal he scored in 2014. We had Colombia's Cinderella run in 2018. They didn't qualify in 2022. He was injured, or maybe I'm getting the dates wrong there. But we also have Cucho Hernandez, who took the Columbus Crew to back-to-back MLS Cup champions, cups, either way. And then we have our own Andres Gomez, who got subbed into that first game. Uh, we know how good he is. They've got Luis Diaz, one of the top
That guy's
like
so
midfield
good.
defender. Yeah, he's so good. He was probably man of the match. They've got a squad, and it's deep and it's passionate, and they have a fan base that's deep and passionate. And I think that no one should be counting them out.
So, and you
Colombia,
say that as
Colombia.
a patriotic American that you're rooting for Colombia to win the World
Yeah.
Cup.
Well, I gotta say that I would be thrilled if the US did it also, but am I being,
Well, let's
you
one
know,
step back. Do you think the U.S. could win it, or are we still just a little bit of ways away?
I mean, I'm a dreamer, so I'll say, yeah, sure, whatever. The US could win it if something crazy happened, you know? Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Such
Sure.
patriotic confidence there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Well, the answer actually is that the US has won the World Cup 4 times
Oh,
for the women.
Girl
four
power, down with the
stars.
So,
patriarchy.
I really like it. No, I have kind of I have dumb faith in them, the men's team. I would be
Okay,
delighted if it happened.
I think this might be the first time that watching a World Cup where the thought has actually kind of crossed people's mind that,
Mm.
whoa, wait a second, two games. It's only two games, but let's see how it goes. They've played really well. What about you, Tyler? You you're
I've
just gonna
got two
American
dark
flag it. You're
horses.
gonna Okay, let's hear it.
Two dark horses. So the U.S. is one of my dark horses. The other one is this one. Stroke. Stroke.
Norway.
Norway. Yeah, I
Ugh,
like rowing the boat. Row that boat,
I love that.
Norwegian.
I
Yeah,
would
love
be
that.
upset if Norway won. I can't let Holland have that.
I know I don't
I would
love
feel
Holland,
bad.
but I kind of have to love Holland because I can't love him on Man City
Oh
ever,
no,
so
it's
I
against the
can love
law.
him in the World Cup, right?
So it's your like it's the loophole to like cheer for Holland.
Exactly. Yep. Plus he's playing with Odie, and Odie is the
Tony's
man.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
All
Plus
right,
he's got
fine. Maybe
great
Norway.
hair. They all have great hair. How does that work, man? Anyway, so
That's the
those are my
wrong
two
guy, man.
dark horse choices, and then I kind of think Argentina will go far, but I think there's going to be somebody with just a little bit more passion that's going to outdo him. Jerrica thinks that's
Se
Colombia.
llama Colombia. Es un país muy hermoso.
And I think it's probably going to be España.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
feeling
like
that, but
Spain's good. But I think I don't want to cheer for Lamine Yamal. But other than that, I kind of like Spain. They're all pretty dang good. So
well,
that's
I
my pick.
am
I had to pick. How about you?
for me, I think the U.S. It's one game at a time with those. You just got to play, but I think the U.S. is going to do well.
Amen.
Um, but if U.S. doesn't win the World Cup, I think that it's going to be I'm kind of rooting for England. I
You would.
am. I am. Yeah. I'm just kind of like genetics. That's where I come from.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I love Harry Kane way more than the next guy, and so I'm always on team give Harry Kane a trophy.
And I love the fact that the English fans, you know, don't believe they'll ever win it again, but they root hard every single time. And
Yeah.
just the angst that it gives them. I don't know that there's another country that would uh, have as more joy in winning the World Cup, lifting the trophy again than there is in England. But France is tough. They looked really good today. They just kind of um, took them, played really well.
I would hate to see France do well in this tournament.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not a.
can't cheer for the big powerhouse clubs. I can't
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
no
Or
fun. And I'm
teams.
Even
not.
That's not
even their
fun. Yeah,
backup
exactly.
team's so good. France's
Yeah.
B team would
It's just
destroy half
annoying.
the teams in the World Cup.
And I'm not an Mbappe fan.
I'm not
I
either.
he's like a Ronaldo.
Yes.
I'm more of a. I know there's the eternal question Messi or Ronaldo, and
Superstar.
I'm more of a Messi because that's kind of like I like a player more like that. I think Ronaldo is he comes off as very selfish, and it's been interesting watching him call the first game, him calling his own player offside with a ref. Did you see that? I
Yeah.
think it was when Fernando scored, and Ronaldo's like, "Oh yeah, you got it. He was offside. He wants to score, and
Yeah.
he's
Can't
not."
let anyone else be successful.
Yeah, and so I just don't think Portugal is going to do anything, which
I hope they
is good.
don't.
But it has been super fun. I think that Capo Verde, that was just brilliant what
That
they've
was
done,
awesome.
and they should have got that last free kick. I can't believe they didn't get that last free kick, and that would have been the story of the game so far.
Amazing.
Yeah. So overall, as
I want to see
amazing.
a big upset like that. I want to see a little country beat a big like European powerhouse or something, or Argentina. I want to see Argentina be taken out by like Senegal or something.
Senegal's not really going to do it. They're not on track, but I get what you're saying.
And I mean, we'll see how it goes after tomorrow, but in the rest of the groups, but there are quite a few teams that are still able to pull off a surprise. And who knows, you could see Egypt and Iran go through and maybe Belgium
Yeah,
not
Maybe
make it.
Uzbekistan. Probably not.
not after
No.
that first loss
Yeah. But I
to
think the
Colombia.
biggest, one of the biggest surprises for me is that Turkey has bombed
They
out.
haven't scored. Yeah,
I thought they
Man,
would give
3.5 goals. They had an XG of 3.5,
that
Brent.
game was crazy.
yeah, they've
Yeah,
had like 39 shots on
scored
goal.
no goals. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's just been crazy. And I would love to see Scotland. Scotland came out and maybe they'll shock the world. And
That
the
was cute.
interesting one, let's see, the one group, it is the Uruguay because Spain and Uruguay
That
play
group
each
is
other.
crazy. Yeah,
That could be the game. I mean, that's going to be incredible
and
because
just Cape Verde being in that group also is so it's crazy. You have two teams that are already good, like really good, and then throwing in a team that wasn't supposed to be good and is like putting up results against these teams. It just makes it so interesting. Like who's going
and
to win that
Verdi,
group? And
yeah,
whoever comes in second plays Argentina in the round of 32. So it's crazy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Cape Verde plays Saudi Arabia. So Uruguay has to win. They have to go in there thinking they have to win
Yeah.
because,
Crazy,
Ver-
huh?
yeah, Cape Verde, if they could, they're going to be
They might
going for blood. And
advance.
they beat Saudi Arabia. They'll have 5 points, and if Uruguay gets a draw, they only have three. They could be out.
It's crazy.
So
And
I
Uruguay's the
always
only
think,
team.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Uruguay's the only team that has an RSL player and a Tottenham player in it, so I automatically have to root for them. Anyway,
And that's
keep going.
probably not a good
Speaking
mix
of
either,
that,
right?
speaking of that, Jerrica, give everybody the root that like if they don't have a team, they don't They haven't traveled outside the country. Just give them your like hierarchy of teams they should cheer for and the order they should cheer for them in, if you would.
Mine?
Yes.
Okay, so we start with, yeah, whatever country you have like a personal connection to. So like whether it's your heritage or if you like lived there or visited, like I saw a video online that said like you had to live there for 3 months in order for it to count, which was just being silly. I'm not trying to police that. But yeah, if you have a personal connection to a country, pick that one. But then after that, we're cheering for underdogs. We're cheering for African nations. We're cheering for islands. We're cheering for Asian teams. Like Japan has been killing it. Two monstrous games from Japan. Would love to see them like maybe get to the round of 16.
Oh, they're
Uh,
cleaning up.
it's awesome. You're cheering always, and then after that we go South America before Europe, and always Europe last. So
There you go.
within
There
South
you go.
America, there's a hierarchy. Like Argentina's the obvious one, don't cheer for them. Brazil's obvious, don't cheer for them. We have these really exciting teams like Paraguay, who almost never qualifies. We've got
Colombia for
teams,
sure.
yeah, well, Colombia
Ecuador.
and Ecuador almost never qualify at the same time because I don't know, but it's happening and it's very cute.
It's very thoughtful, Jerrica. I
And
appreciate
always
that.
Canada,
Oh,
always
hey,
our
Canada.
neighbors. We have to cheer for our host neighbors. Canada, Mexico, go Canada,
I wished
Canada,
them
go
good luck. I
Mexico.
told them to break a leg, and never mind. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. That I actually so I came home and finally like watched the second half of that game and I actually like deeply cried. Like the whole thing made me so sad.
It was such a
Just
freak play. I mean,
it
I
was
am not
so
an advocate for any kind of, those kinds of injuries. That I don't. I watch,
yeah.
like that, but
I watched
you could hardly tell. You could hear it, but it didn't like
yeah.
what the heck.
I watched a
Well,
video breakdown of a doctor on YouTube who like does big World Cup injuries and breaks it down to like what happened and how he would treat it and whatever. And he said that this bone or area must have already been weak or had some weird alternate pressure on it because the force of the tackle just did not look remotely able to make that significant of a break. And I could like tell on the Qatar guy's face that he like did not mean to, and it's just one of those things I was feeling for him like half as much as I was feeling for Kone. It's like you just go in and you break somebody's leg and now you have to live with that forever that you've done that and just like, oh, I was getting real emotional about it.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's
terrible.
crazy. That's
So, any
horrible.
final thoughts on the World Cup? Appreciate you guys being our worldwide World Cup correspondents.
And just right in
Anytime.
your backyard at the same time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm just really excited. I love soccer so much and it's been so fun to share it with so many people and to have so many people paying attention. And yeah, the atmosphere has been just joyful for me.
That's what I think. When my Aunt Carla is updating me on games, like I know that the World Cup is making an impact in the world. When Aunt Carla is calling me up
Mhm.
saying, "Hey, are you watching this?" Then I know things are really the World Cup is a big deal across the United States for sure.
And
Love it.
I'll share my thought to end is that I've been really surprised. I kind of got way too focused on. I'm not Mr. Pollyanna, everything's perfect Tyler Thomas type. Look at the bright side. I'm like, oh, there's so much that needs to and could be improved. But just watching the other fans, other countries that have come to the United States, and they're just like, is this, what is this? It's Bucky's, it's all of the people that are excited for free refills, things we just
Yeah,
kind of take for
that's
granted.
been
Watching
cute.
all those stories about people discovering America, and it's more than just the politics. It's more than just what you see on TV, which can all be disheartening for everyone. But just seeing people enjoy the United States, and that's kind of when you talk about feeling patriotic, that has helped me be a little bit more positive, and I've really enjoyed that. Thing, hey, you know what? You do the same thing when you go somewhere else. That you
Mhm.
focus on all the good stuff, and everybody's like, "Why would you want to come here?" And I think we get lost in all of that, and it's great to see. people coming all across the United States to travel. And, it's it's fantastic to see. I think Scotland is going to, drink all of the alcohol, all of it.
They're gonna drink all the beer in Boston.
They
Yep.
drink all the beer in Boston, and they're just going to work their way across
Yeah.
until we are
Through New
out
England.
of, yep, till we're out of it. So that has been fantastic. So thank you both for being our correspondents, even if you didn't want to take the rest of us with you. But what a fantastic story for both of you. I've enjoyed watching you guys share that experience with us. And don't forget, subscribe, follow, whatever you do on social media. Let us be a part of it. And thanks for listening.